Beverly's go through his arm on the rebound. As Beasley is hit by Drew. Lamar came over too. And free throws coming up from Michael Beasley.
Sometimes basketball players do dirty stunts when playing fair doesn't work out. But how dirty can it get on the NBA courts? Let's take a look at the dirtiest plays in NBA history in this video. But before we get there, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon for notifications. Number 10. Patrick Beverley hurt Russell Westbrook, 2013. It was the NBA playoffs in Houston, USA, in 2013 when Oklahoma City Thunder were up against the Houston Rockets. The Thunder's Russell Westbrook was running up the court to call a timeout when Rockets guard Patrick Beverley leaned in to steal the ball. As Beverley got hold of the ball, Westbrook tripped and fell. However, Westbrook didn't take the fall seriously and continued playing. At the time, he didn't know the injury was serious and that he would actually need surgery to heal from it. Russell Westbrook went through all of this because of Patrick Beverley's dirty play. Beverley came suddenly and crashed into Westbrook, making him completely lose his balance and fall harshly on the court's floor. The worst part is that Beverley never apologized for the dirty trick that caused so much pain to a fellow NBA player. Number 9. Shaquille O'Neal crashing into Rodney Stuckey. The year is 2008 and the match between the Detroit Pistons against the Phoenix Suns. Shaquille O'Neal playing for the Phoenix Suns when he badly hurt Rodney Stuckey, the Detroit Pistons guard player. As Pistons guard Rodney Stuckey went in for a layup with only 5:19 to go in the game, O'Neal crashed into him. Now it's important to note that O'Neal is 7 foot tall and weighs 350 pounds. And on the other hand, Rodney Stuckey is 6'5" and weighs only 205. So you can imagine the crash. Stuckey was badly hurt. Interesting thing is that O'Neal was not ready to admit his fault when he was being ejected from the court after the incident. He was called for a flagrant 2 foul, which resulted in an immediate ejection. But instead of going back, O'Neal argued with the official. The NBA was not happy with such behavior and they fined Shaq $25,000 for not leaving the court on time and for verbally abusing the official on the court. Number 8. Jonas Valanciunas attack on LeBron James. So this is a relatively new offense to be included on such a list, but something about it says it will stand the test of time. The match was between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Toronto Raptors in 2015 when LeBron was coming at you. You got very few choices, right? A rugby tackle is a technique, though, that hasn't been used a lot, but was allegedly used by Jonas Valanciunas. The incident happened when the Raptors center, Jonas, intercepted a moving James in the paint late in the third quarter. Valanciunas used both arms to guarantee full stoppage in a textbook wrap-up, a true heads-up, Luke Kechi-style action. It's worth remembering that the major Lithuanian may simply be playing the wrong sport at this stage. Despite all this happening to the Cavaliers' LeBron James, the Cavaliers did see a 121-12 victory over Toronto that day. Valanciunas played dirty and yet couldn't help his team win. There's a lesson here for all of us. Number 7. Isaiah Thomas gets crushed by Karl Malone. This was not an ordinary NBA play. Isaiah Thomas was badly hurt, and when we say bad, it was 40 stitches bad. Isaiah Thomas reportedly was upset when the initial Dream Team rosters were released because he had been left out, so why wouldn't he be irritated? It would have hurt to lose the role to John Stockton, who was arguably the best scoring point guard in the game at the time. Karl Malone crushed Thomas so hard during a 1991 game between the Utah Jazz and the Detroit Pistons that Thomas needed 40 stitches to repair the cut above his eye. Malone was fined $10,000 for the vicious knockout because he had more of his elbow in Thomas's face than his fist on the ball. Number 6. Dennis Rodman on Scottie Pippen. There's a lot more to it than simply being a bad foul. By 1991, the Pistons, also known as the Bad Boy Pistons, were in serious trouble. The Pistons were suffering from age and had not made the postseason for 5 consecutive seasons. So since knocking the Chicago Bulls out of the playoffs in 2 of the previous 3 seasons, the Pistons attempted to outmuscle Scottie Pippen, Jordan, and the rest of the team once more. Dennis Rodman from the Detroit Pistons wasn't satisfied with just preventing Pippen from scoring. Instead, right after Pippen scores a goal, Rodman goes about his business and shoves his old teammate into the stands. However, the Bulls would have the last laugh, putting an end to the Pistons' reign and ushering in their own dynasty. Number 5. Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn playing dirty against Larry Bird. This is true as much for the meaning of the foul as it is for the foul's consistency. Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn are widely considered to be the most formidable inside pair in NBA history. I'd call them polarizing, but being polarizing implies that you're liked by other people. Outside of Detroit, these two were despised, and their relentless fights with the Boston Celtics' Larry Bird resulted in some of the most dramatic twists and turns in NBA history. When Larry is just about to score, Laimbeer and Mahorn push him and prevent him from scoring. The foul is obvious and clearly seen by everyone, so as a result, Larry gets 2 free throws. So in this situation, Larry is seen as the calmest player. Instead of arguing with anyone, he just uses his free throws to score more points. Now that is a moment no one wants to miss out on. Number 4. Kevin McHale's clothesline attack on Kurt Rambis. What is the most effective way to prevent a short break scoring opportunity? Well, if you're Kevin McHale in the 1984 NBA Finals, the obvious solution is to channel your inner WWE superstar and give Kurt Rambis a clothesline from hell. McHale decided to block the Lakers' break by hammering Rambis with a clothesline late in the contest, with the Lakers seemingly on their way to a dominant 3-1 series lead. McHale remained in the game despite the fact that the benches cleared. The Celtics rallied to take the game and ultimately the series, and the foul shifted the series momentum by luring the Lakers into a tense final 3 games and away from their normal dazzling form. The irony of the play is that the heat it caused helped the Celtics win the series, demonstrating that tossing in a hard foul is often necessary to win basketball games. We can't forget to note Rambis' first-generation sports goggles, which he's wearing for the contest. Number 3. Jason Smith attacks Blake Griffin. So Blake Griffin is well known for his ability to leap from the gym. We all realize that fouling someone on a short break is the only way to deter them from leaving the gym, and the only remaining question is, what foul are you going to use? Jason Smith's solution to that question seems to be to simply kill Griffin with a well-timed shoulder block to the side of the body. Bonus points are given for Griffin not looking at the time of the contact, and Smith doing as all linebackers are taught and running straight through the player to make the tackle. If only this was a football game like the one Smith seems to be participating in. Number 2. Shaquille O'Neal versus the San Antonio Spurs. As if Shaq's name coming in this video once wasn't enough, he's back here too. This game, however, was a shambles. Shaq is seen in his prime defensively in the first part of this video, and he is a monster that the Spurs have little chance of dealing with. The game soon becomes chippy, then dirty, before culminating in a full-fledged brawl with all the benches clearing out and real punches thrown. These aren't the run-of-the-mill exhibition punches though, these are the real deal. The greatest thing about the final battle is how obvious it is that nobody wants Shaq. Given that his fist is about the size of a frying pan, that makes perfect sense. And number 1, Charles Barkley punching Hakeem Olajuwon. Barkley has been a lovable, if contentious, commentator on televised NBA games for a decade. He was the one who took up the cheap and filthy mark after the Pistons' bad boy era ended, for those old enough to recall the game in the 90s. Hakeem Olajuwon seems to be taking liberties and running up the score on Barkley's Phoenix Suns at the end of this 1994 playoff series deciding session. Barkley isn't having it, so he knocks Olajuwon down in the middle of a dunk with a powerful shot to the stomach. There are a pair of ejections thrown in for good measure, which means both Charles and Hakeem are taken out of the court. This all happened with just over 7 seconds remaining in the contest. And that's it for today's video on the dirtiest plays in NBA history. Did we miss out on any that you think might have been on the list? Well, let us know in the comments below. Before you click on another video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and press the bell icon to never miss our videos.